Marhaba everyone, and welcome to this new video by 360arabic.com. In this video, we will dig deeper into the differences between short vowels and long vowels. How do you process these and how do you train yourself to distinguish between a short and a long vowel? Thank you for watching these videos. These videos can be watched independently, but they're meant essentially as companion videos to our ebook, The Letters and Sounds of Arabic, which you can download for free from 360arabic.com or by following the link in the description below. Let's look at the differences between short vowels and long vowels in Arabic. Now, before we start, let's look at these three words, and I'll let you decide, based on your experience with English, how a transcription of these words would translate into Arabic. Would that include a short vowel or a long vowel? For example, hat, hat. If you were to transcribe the word hat in Arabic, meaning just write the sounds, would you use a short ha in hat or a long ha in hat? In other words, would it be like this, short vowel, or would it be like this, long vowel, hat? Same thing for mall, mall. Would it be a short vowel, or would it be a long vowel? And hard, same thing. If you think any of these words requires a short vowel in Arabic, this video is for you. Now, it is very important for us to take a second and think of short versus long vowels as they are processed by English language speakers. Now, as English language speakers, you learned that a word like cake includes the long vowel A, whereas hat is a short vowel for A. A, hat, and A in hate. You learned that this is a short vowel and that this is a long vowel. Same thing for keep. I, bike, home. These are all long vowels for O, I, and E. So basically in English, the letter is qualified as producing a long or short sound, and therefore it's going to be a long vowel or short vowel. In Arabic, it doesn't work like that. The focus in Arabic is on the sound. Let me explain. A is short in bat and long in bake. This definition of short and long vowels would be completely acceptable to an English language speaker. An Arabic language speaker would see that A in bat and A in bake don't even sound the same. How can A be short for A? Now you're beginning to understand that in Arabic, the focus is not on the letter, the focus is on the sound. And so, the distinction between long and short vowels is always made in reference to the same basic sound. Ball and bake are transcribed differently and heard differently in Arabic. Ball, there is no sound in Arabic. There is only a, u, and e. That's it. A, u, e. The long ones are a, u, e. There's no So ball would probably be transcribed as an alif, ball, if we're transcribing. Of course, this doesn't mean anything. Ball doesn't mean anything in Arabic. Bake would probably be thought of as a ya, bake, right? Because there is no equivalent to a in Arabic. And so the Arab ear would hear a and a as two different, fundamentally different sounds, and therefore there is no question whatsoever as to putting them on the same level when thinking of short and long vowels. So that's a big idea number one. We will expand on it. Remember, we have three basic vocalic sounds: a, u, and e. And they're short. To make them long, you affect the duration. So, when you say ba, ta, to produce the long vowel here, it has to be ba, ta, ba, ba, ta, ta. The quality of the vowel has to stay the same. It can't be pronounced differently. You only have a, u, e, and the long versions are a, u, e. Now, here are again the three basic vowels of Arabic. Ba, and short vowels in Arabic, as we will see, are really short. Ba, ma, ta, wa, a. Like but. I actually was quite surprised that you cannot find in English a word that has a, the short a sound, that even has an a. All the examples I could come up with had a u, like much. So back again to these sounds, ba, ma, ta, wa, a. They're very short. They are very short. You cannot produce shorter sounds than these. You can go ba, ba, ma, ta. They still sound short vowels in Arabic. They are very short. Now, u is short as well. Bu, like bul, mu, to, wu, u. Now, e, I found it very hard to extract a e example in English. Most of them are like bin, which is a little bit like an a, bin, pit. It's not pit or bin. This is true e, b, b, mi, ti, we, e. So, ba, bu, bi, ba, bu, bi, ma, mu, mi, ta, to, ti, wa, wu, we, a, u, e. Very, very short. When we place them side by side with long vowels, you start to see the difference. So, ba, bu, bi. Ba, bu, bi. It's the same quality. It has to be the same. It can't be ba, bay or e, I. No, it has to be the same sound quality. The only difference is duration. Ba, ba, bu, bu, bi, bi. Ma, ma, mu, mu, mi, mi. Ta, ta, to, to, ti, ti. Wa, wa, wu, wu, we, we. Ya, ya, you, you, yi, yi. A. Remember the tilde? U, e, e. So now you're comfortable with the idea that changes between short and long vowels happen entirely on the basis of duration. That short vowels in Arabic are really short. Okay? So let's move on. Here are two very important ideas to walk out with. The first one is that the vocalic system in Arabic is very simple. It's much, much simpler than English. So the idea here is to forget your distinctions between short and long in English and to try to forget and not transfer any of your vocalic knowledge in English into Arabic. So start over. First, there are no variations with the same vowel. This is hat. This is hard. This is hate. In Arabic, a is always an a. Ba, ba, ta, na, qa, kha, ra. It's never going to be a. It's never going to be anything else. Okay? Second, you won't find one-letter diphthongs in Arabic. In English, you can definitely express or produce diphthongs in terms of single letters, like higher. So higher is an a and an e, higher. And so this is why I truly think that the vocalic system in Arabic is a lot simpler than what you're used to in English. Now we reach the important question. How long is long? As we've seen, a, u, e are short. You add the long vowels, you receive a, u, e. For example, a would be something like hut, but, what. Long, a would be something like hat, bat, cat. See the difference between hut and hat. Hut and hat. They're the same sound quality, the only difference is duration. You will never think of these as equivalent in English, would you? So this is how you can start making that comparison and making sense of the differences between short and long vowels. Whenever you see a fatha, short vowel, it has to sound like hut, but, what. If it sounds anything longer than that, even if it's bat, hat, that's long in Arabic. It's long. Same thing for u, put, full, took. If it sounds any longer than that, it's a long vowel, like moon, cool, fool. Let's look at the kasra. Any sound that sounds like sit, pit, hit, would be considered short. Anything longer than that, like meat, teeth, bee, that would be considered a long vowel. Therefore, it is important to remember that short is really short in the Arabic system. Short vowels in Arabic are always the shortest sounds you can produce. Let's say you are presented with a sound and you're trying to figure out, is this a short or long vowel? My advice is to try to make it shorter. So if you receive a sound like ba, ba, can you make it shorter? Yes, I can, ba. Then you know that the sound you've received is a long vocalic sound. So when presented with a sound, try making it shorter. If you can, you know you were given a long sound. You will never be able to make a short Arabic sound shorter. In theory, and unless you're playing with frames per second and things like that, which will make no difference. It will still be perceived as a short vowel. Another thing is that when in doubt, you're probably dealing with a long sound. Okay? So let's practice. All right. So let's start with hat. If you were to transcribe, okay, let's agree on something. None of these words mean anything in Arabic. We're just transcribing them to try to reproduce the sounds they have. Now, we would usually transcribe things like proper nouns, like Mike, Michael, James, Janet. These you would not generally transcribe unless they were part of a name of a brand or a person. So let's go to hat. All right? Hat. Hat. Let's think about this and think about an Arab ear. How would you hear this? Can you make this shorter? Hat. Yes, I can. I can make it sound like hat. Hat, hat. So this is, if you can make it shorter, means that you've been given a long vowel. So hat will be expressed as a long vowel. Hat. It's not short. If it's short, it would sound something like hat. Okay? Let's apply the same principle to moon. Can you make it shorter? Yes. Mun, mun, moon, mun. Therefore, this is long. Okay? It would be like moon. Feet, feet. This one is easy. You can say, oh, I was having a fit. Fit is short. Feet is long. So take it, try to make it shorter. If it works, you have a long vowel. Now let's look at cut. Can you make cut any shorter? Cut, cut, cut. No. So you are dealing with a short vowel. You're not dealing with cat. It's cut, cut. So that's short. Food. Can you make it shorter? Yes, food. So this is long. Hit. Can you make it shorter? No. So that's short. Much. Can you make it shorter? Shorter than much, 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 much. Much, much. You get much. It's not much. Much, much, much. So that's a short. Weed. You can say wid, wid, wid. Although it doesn't mean anything. We don't care about meaning here. We care about sounds. Weed, I can make it shorter. Wid. So this is long. Him. Him. It's hard to make it shorter. So this is short. What? What? I've placed this here in this color because it is a little bit different. You know, it's not what. It's not what. It's like what. And so it's one of those examples where you might have some uncertainties. Would Arabs write it what as what? Would you say what? Or would you say what? It's actually neither. It's not what and it's not what. It's what. It's somewhere in between. Whenever in doubt, it's long. Arabs will definitely write what with an alif. Took. Took. Can you make it shorter? Took, 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 took. No, it's short. Hill. It is short. Now apply the same principles in the next exercise. Please listen to these words and determine if you're dealing with a long or short vowel. Number 1. Again, test the vowels. Can you make it shorter? If you can, then that is a long vowel. If you can't make it any shorter, then that's a short vowel. Listen. Number 1, we're looking at the sound ha. Is it ha or ha? Ham. Ham. Is it short or long? Ha. Ham. 2, we're looking for mu. Is it mu or moo? Moose. Long or short? Moose. Number 3, long or short? We're looking for the sound with fa in it. Afiq. Afiq. Is the fa short or long? Afiq. 4, ka. Is ka short or ka long? So we're looking at the ka sound. The word is kalb. Kalb. 5, we're listening for the f sound. Is it long or short? The word is marfood. Marfood. 6, we're listening for the sound ha, and the word is hilal. 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 Is he short or long? 7, we're also listening for the sound ha, this time with a fatha, and the word is ham. 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 Is it short or long? 8, we're listening for wa. Wisada. 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 Is it short or long? Can you make it any shorter? 9, the word is ithar. Ithar. Listen to the sound with the sound. Ithar. Is it short e or long e? Ithar. 10, we're looking for the sound ra, and the word is rimal. Rimal. And here is the key to our exercise. The first word was ham. Ham. we can see there is an alif, it is long. Ham, we can make it shorter, ham, 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 which by the way we have here, ham. So this is short and this is long. Ham, ham. Moose, well, now that it's written, we can tell it's a long vowel. Moose, we can say moose, moose. Moose is therefore long. Afiq, afiq. Can we really make fi shorter? Afiq, 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 afiq. It will still sound the same. So afiq is a short vowel. You can tell here there is no ya. So that's short. The next word is kalb, kalb. We don't say kalb. Can we make ka in kalb shorter? Ka, kalb, kalb, kalb. No. So kalb is already short. Marfood. Clearly, fu is long. Hilal, 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 hilal. I can't make it shorter. So this is a short vowel. Wisada. Similarly, I can't make it shorter, so that's a short vowel. Ithar. I can make it shorter. Ithar. I can say ithar, ithar. Now let's forget about meaning. All I'm trying to do is figure out if I can produce a shorter version of that sound. Ithar. Can I make it shorter? Yes, I can do I. Ithar. So this is long. Obviously here because it has a ya. Finally, rimal. 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 I can make it longer, rimal, but I can't make it shorter. So rimal is short. Now keep in mind, the Arabic vocalic system is different. It is simpler. There are English sounds with no Arabic equivalent, so you go to the closest you have or you can to transcribe. For example, if you say Baker, Mr. Baker, there is really no equivalent sound to A in Arabic. The closest thing would be either Bakr or Beaker. I know it's neither. It's not Bakr and it's not Beaker. So you have to approximate. Generally speaking, it would be represented as Baker, with the ya, Baker. So there are some sounds in English that you won't find in Arabic, and therefore you have to try to transcribe it as best you can. Short is really short in Arabic. If you walk away with this simple idea, you would nail the differences between short and long. Short is really short in Arabic, and when in doubt, the vowel you're dealing with is probably long. And these are examples of diphthongs. When you actually transcribe them, you just go to the closest thing. Let's say Pierce, like Baker. Pierce, you know. Already we don't have P in Arabic, so that's the closest thing will be ba. Beers. It will look like beers. A lot of Arabic language speakers will still read it as Pierce because they can transcribe back with experience. All right, so this video is important, so I highly recommend that you watch it more than once because it's ultimately important to distinguish between short and long vowels. It's something that we usually don't discuss in depth in Arabic language classrooms, unfortunately. Keep in mind that short vowels in Arabic are really short. If there is any vowel that you can make shorter, that's a long vowel. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please share and subscribe, and don't forget to download your free ebook from 360arabic.com or from the description below. مع السلامة.